On the night that Kendrick Lamar dropped the Pop Out concert, DJ Akademiks was seen reciting the lyrics, dancing gleefully, and seemingly supporting Kendrick. What happened to Drake?
Johnny can't give you no swag neither. I don't give a hold up. Hey, top dog. Who the fuck they think they
playing with? You messed up the lyrics, by the way. Bitch, I'm allergic to the lame shit. Only you like being famous. That piece of me dance wave with my hands. It won't be no threat. I know they call you the boy, but where's the man? Ain't seen them yet. Matter of fact, I ain't even beat them yet.
What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget them Cashapp, CLBMG. But listen, I saw what I thought I would never ever see, which was DJ Akademiks not only gleefully watching the entire Pop Out, Kendrick Lamar's Pop Out in LA, where he brought out the gangbangers and the rappers and the entertainers, the best of the best in the city. A beautiful event where he was unifying both sides of the culture in LA, the street culture, let's say that, right? And it was a beautiful event. He did, however, perform several of his diss tracks against Drake. Why was Drake's biggest supporter? I'm talking about if there was a fan club president, the guy that's over the fan club president, which is DJ Akademiks, that is the person who we're talking about, watching Drake's biggest competitor perform the disses that ultimately beat and destroyed him in this battle. Not only his biggest fan, let's say that, fan. Akademiks is Drake's biggest fan. Not only was his biggest fan, who, mind you, has been the center of misinformation during the height of the battle. Not only was his what do you call it when you're the freaking general of the army that is leading the fight, right? He is literally Drake's command center, where they formulate campaigns against Kendrick Lamar. Why would Akademiks be on his live stream, which is how he gets paid? Let's start there. Which is where he's did nothing but defend Drake, and which he's gone viral on many times for stumbling into the next Kendrick drop, weirdly unaware that it's dropped, and then playing it live, which has garnered him thousands, if not millions of more viewers to log on and watch. Akademiks gleefully for years reveled in Drake's dominance. We're going to use that term for now. In Drake's dominance over hip hop, the appearance of dominance over hip hop. Akademiks was unabashedly Drake's biggest supporter. Why then, on the night where it is clear the battle is over, the funeral procession has begun, everyone that goes on that stage is declaring, I am not with Drake, I am with Kendrick. Everyone watching that show is pretty much either a Kendrick fan or someone curious about Kendrick, or just wants to see what's going on with this Pop Out, who's going to be there, just for the culture. I want to say, not even for the culture. Let's just say that they wanted to be nosy, right? And you had a couple Drake fans, probably millions, trying to see what he was going to perform, how he was going to perform it, and who was going to ultimately be on stage with him, so they could throw shots at it, which they did. They could try to knock it and try to disparage Kendrick for even doing it. Try to see if Whitney was there, which she was there, and ultimately, in essence, to just throw shade on the whole event, which I'm sure to a degree Akademiks did watch, so he can throw shade on the whole event. However, a funny thing happened, and I want to get into why Akademiks, to me, has shown two different faces during this encounter. For one, Akademiks was seen bobbing his head. Akademiks was seen reciting lyrics. Akademiks seemed excited during the performance of Kendrick and others. And he seemed in disbelief at how well the show was performing and how well the show was doing. As I saw these clips of Akademiks spitting Kendrick's lyrics, let's just start there. These are literally lyrics dissing Drake, literally lyrics calling Drake out, calling him heinous things, and pretty much defeating him in the battle. Why would your #1 commander in arms be reciting line for line on live in pure view of everyone else that can see him? Why would he be reciting these lyrics? Why would he be gleefully chiming in on the most heinous parts of these words? I'm going to tell you why I feel like Akademiks' face changed from Drake to Kendrick. I feel like Ak has been one of the biggest opportunists in hip hop since his inception. I used to watch Ak when he was doing, I stumbled on Ak back when he was doing the war in Chirac. I went on a rabbit hole, just clicking those. I was like, what is this? What is this guy doing? Like, oh, this is crazy. I'm clicking them and you're learning about the Reaper, the Chicago, the Reaper of Chicago and all this stuff. Lil Reese and King Von and Chief Keef. You're learning about all this stuff that there was no way you would ever know about it unless you were literally in Chicago. So I started watching. I'm like, yo, this dude is plugged in. How does he get this information? Who's telling him? Like, me as a street dude, my mind is spinning. I'm like, how does he get this information? How does he know all these gangbangers' names? How does he know who did what? How does he know what street they live on? Like, how does he know these things? And you start to devolve into this world, and you can't get out of it because it was so interesting. And not only would Ak bring you those Chirac reports, he would also bring you tidbits of popular or pop culture in hip hop at the time, like whatever was going on with Drake or Lil Uzi Vert or Migos, and it was a lot of 6ix9ine cover. Even before 6ix9ine blew up, Ak was already doing his thing. Before Everyday Struggle, all that, there was a time when no one knew what Akademiks looked like because his videos were just loops of whatever topic he was talking about. He just looped it and let it play. So we didn't even know what he looked like. That's back when Akademiks was more of a hood reporter. He gave his commentary, and yeah, he would clown a little bit, and he would poke fun at these rappers, and for a time it was good, right? For a time it was good. It was entertaining. You were safe in your own home while he did all the dirt. You dug up all these stories, and you got to just learn what these kids were into without actually having to get into it. As Ak became more and more popular, he himself started to openly want to know what was going on in the industry and how he could be a part of it. And he started to question everything industry. All of his videos started to turn into these diatribes on the industry and how they were doing the splits and how they were botting and how they were faking streams. It became an obsession with the industry. Ak was a fan. So as a fan, he honestly wanted to know these things. Ak was college educated. I think Ak has a master's degree, right? I think Ak could be an engineer or something like that. So he's naturally curious. So what happened? He started to delve into the industry, and he made a couple of enemies by reporting this stuff, like Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill. He became one of these people who just was nosy enough to find out what was going on and report it because he wasn't in anybody's pocket. So Ak became almost a Robin Hood almost. And he became a pariah to labels because he was always just telling you what they were doing. But he became a hero to the younger people and people who wanted to just know this knowledge, right? So fast forward, this thing comes out with him and Joe Budden. They were going to do a podcast together, a show, and they threw Nadeska in, and it literally changed. Let's be honest. It literally changed YouTube, the way people did their shows. I don't think we would even have the Joe Budden podcast be what it is without Everyday Struggle, putting him and Akademiks in people's faces every morning and just making all of these viral moments and making Nadeska a household name. So Ak became one of he was in the lexicon of hip hop. We finally saw his face when he was on Everyday Struggle. We saw what he liked to, what he used to wear, what he would drink. It became a thing where we started to know who Akademiks was, along with Joe Budden. Everyday Struggle fell apart, but Akademiks went on, right? But during Everyday Struggle, Akademiks made a lot of enemies. A lot of enemies, right? What's homeboy from Chicago who was I was about to punch you in the face, right? I can't remember his name right now, but he's on the Shy. I can't remember his name right now, but he didn't like Akademiks. Nipsey didn't like Akademiks. Meek didn't like Akademiks. I think Joyner Lucas had an issue with Akademiks. I think Russ had an issue with that. So he became public enemy number one. But the one thing Akademiks steadfast to was his love for Drake. It never wavered. He would go toe to toe with Joe Budden or anybody else who has something negative to say about Drake. I even think he went toe to toe with XXXTentacion, who he claimed was his biggest friend in the industry, over Drake when he didn't know Drake at all, right? I say all that to say this. Akademiks amassed a bunch of power in this industry, and he used that power to push up the people he liked, like Drake, and to push down the people who he felt gave him issues, like Meek Mill. And what we noticed was a consistency in Akademiks. He would never turn his back on you unless you really did him dirty. So we never saw Ak turn his back on Drake. We never, ever. We saw him unwavering when Drake had his issues with Pusha T. Ak was unwavering in trying to slander Pusha and make that battle make Drake win that battle, right? So I say all that to say this. As we went forward, every release Drake dropped, Ak would go live with the Henny bottle, listening to the whole release. He would break down every song, how he liked it, he hated it. He even fell asleep one time on one of the albums because it was a little slow. I think that might have been, was it Scorpion? Or For All the Dogs. One of the albums, he fell asleep. I mean, it was like 2 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what time it was, but it was late. But I say all that to say this. This was Drake's man. If there was anybody writing for Drake, it was DJ Akademiks. Some of the most heinous misinformation was peddled to the internet directly via Akademiks. Some of the most heinous things in regards to Kendrick was literally handed right to Akademiks, right to the public, via a medium that had amassed millions of followers. So it was Drake had a pipeline right into the culture, for lack of a better words, by using Akademiks as his mouthpiece. And that went on for years, especially during this battle. And during this battle, Akademiks went into hyperdrive defending Drake. You could not turn to his page. He has another page called Akademiks TV, which is even more biased and more heinous in its reporting. It has been proven false so many times. I don't even know if the Inquirer has more defamation issues than Akademiks TV, which is literally, I'm going to assume is run by some overzealous intern or something that just does not have anything good to say about Kendrick and only has good things to say about Drake, to the point where I don't even think Akademiks is even leading this page anymore. I think this kid is just given carte blanche to run wild, whoever's running that page. Now, some people say it's Ak running the page and he pretends he's not. No, I don't think Ak has the time to run that page. I think Ak has hired 1 or 2 people. That thing is going 2 in the morning. That thing is going nonstop. It's going nonstop with slander of K-Dot, right? So I don't know why. But somewhere in this battle, it started to shift, and Akademiks saw it. And when I tell you, Akademiks has always been an opportunist, this was the biggest opportunity for Ak's brand. Before Ak is a follower or a fan, he's an opportunist. Ak delves, just like DJ Vlad and Adam 22, they delve into numbers. And Ak saw in that lexicon that these Kendrick numbers, they get you more views than the Drake numbers. The pro Kendrick angle is getting me more clicks than the pro Drake angle. Nothing else matters. I'm telling you how these people think. Those clicks, those metrics, that matters more than anything. That matters more than that pretend relationship that he got with Drake, where Drake hits him off with stuff and he gets to get it first and say, oh, Drake is going to drop tonight. Because when Drake drops that night and then Kendrick drops 30 minutes later and takes all the metrics over to back to Kendrick, it ain't worth as much no more. It ain't worth much at all. Especially when he drops and people rip it apart and he's perceived to have lost yet another round. So he's his biggest fan. But as you see in the video that I started the show off with, somehow he knows every line of Kendrick's song dissing Drake. How does Akademiks, a staunch Kendrick critic, a staunch Drake supporter and stan, how does he know every line of Euphoria? Not only knows it, is repeating it as if he likes it. Anybody with half of a brain knows goddamn well Akademiks does not like none of that Kendrick versus Drake music. None of it. Anybody with half a brain knows to see Akademiks gleefully reciting, you signed to that nigga, and to see him reciting this is absolutely mind-frying, because he was the one telling you that Drake was the king and Kenny should be thankful that Drake even brought his name up in this battle, because these are the best numbers he's ever had in his entire life. I'm going to tell you why Ak was reciting those lyrics gleefully. Besides the fact that they're tearing him up in the comments like, ah, look at your boy, right? Besides that fact, it pays better to be on Kendrick's side right now. It pays better. Why you think half of LA was in that daggone forum, and almost all the gangbangers and rappers that could get on that stage was on that stage? K-Dot's hot right now. His metrics are through the roof. If you look at YouTube, to make a video pro Kendrick, big metrics. To make a video anti-Drake, even bigger. To make a pro-Drake video, I don't know where they even exist at. I don't know. Is there a corner of YouTube that they're making pro-Drake videos? I need to know where that is. I've never seen it. I don't know where it is. Someone in the comments, show me the corner. Show me the creator that is still making pro-Drake videos. And I'm sure there are some obsessed stans out there, but they're mostly on Twitter making posts, trying to call Kendrick a botter and this and that. It doesn't pay well to be pro-Drake right now. Akademiks switched his face. I don't know if you remember that cartoon He-Man where they had many faces, where they had a toy. You could make his face one face. You press the button or click it in the back, it'll turn to another face. You click it again, it'll turn to a different face. Akademiks switched his entire face. Now he's dancing and singing to songs that are openly mocking his favorite rapper of all times. He's openly admitted that finding out that Drake did not write Mob Ties actually hurt him. You can't hurt a fan, bro. You can't hurt a fan. Akademiks right now realizes the metrics and the bread and butter is on Kendrick's plate and not Drake. Now, he did have the so-called bot technician guy on his platform, and he was showing that this guy got paid to do all these bots for Kendrick. First of all, they're going to realize nobody cares. Nobody cares. Except Kendrick, zealot Kendrick, I'm sorry, zealot Drake fans are the only ones that care if Kendrick, and you really think Kendrick went and stuck his hand in something that could be easily traced back to him and ordered how many spins you think he ordered? How many views you think Kendrick himself actually ordered some plays? How many plays is enough? How many plays is enough? He's going to spend 100,000 to do what? First of all, you can't fake all the TikToks of people dancing to it. You can't fake all the Instagrams. You can't fake all the YouTube reels of people crip walking to it. So how much faking on that one video was enough for him to actually be declared the winner? I love that they feel like one video on YouTube made Kendrick win this. One video, not like us being botted a million times all of a sudden. That's the winner. Make it make sense. But what I'm trying to tell you is Akademiks switch sides on Drake. If I'm Drake, me and Akademiks' relationship is over. First of all, we know Drake is petty. So you know he feels a way. Now, my opinion, if I'm Drake and my biggest supporter, the president of the fan club, is reciting lyrics aimed at me to take me down, and he's on his live stream quoting these lyrics and promoting these lyrics, we good. We're done. I don't need to hit you up no more. I'm not giving you no more tickets to the show. And I'm probably going to bang whatever girl you dealing with at the time. He's probably already in her inbox. Right? Akademiks is an opportunist. He is not loyal. But that's the state of the culture he was raised in. This culture only respects one thing, who's ever on top. That's why Drake was allowed to move with impunity throughout this whole last 10 years. Because he had the appearance of being on top. Now, you know why everybody was on that stage with Kendrick? Because he don't appear to be on top no more. They don't need them features no more. Mustard don't need he don't need no look. He don't need to be on Scorpion Part 2. He got Kenny getting them 200 million views. So he don't need Drake anymore. And dare I say LeBron. And I truly think LeBron thinks it's just hip hop. I don't think LeBron maliciously went to that show to be against Drake. But he went. And that's exactly what it looked like. So right now, Kendrick got it. Ak knows that. And he knows there will be no return for a long time for Drake. So he cannot die on a hill that Drake ain't even on no more. Drake been got off the hill before Akademiks. Drake saw it a long time ago and walked down the hill right after, probably the next day after the Hot Part 6 got slammed so bad. I think that's the next day. Even on the Hot Part 6, he told you, dog, I'm done. Imagine telling the dude to hurry up and spit some raps, and then when he finally drops the raps, he hit you so many times that you can't even keep up, so you just quit. Remember they was clowning Kenny for not dropping nothing? Now he got 5 joints waiting for you. If you drop anything tonight, he gonna go right to the hard drive, download whatever song fit, whatever you just dropped, and gonna drop it. That's how this is. So Drake been walked down that hill. Akademiks stayed up there yelling for a few weeks, then he walked down the hill too. Akademiks 100% switched up on Drake. But you should expect no less when you see how Akademiks got where he is. He got where he is by getting in the industry that he claimed to be hating. That's why he shifted. To me, I really can't. This is my thing. And I'm gonna get, I got a video coming on Maul too. On Maul of Rory and Maul. But one thing you can say about Maul not switching up. Maul keeping the same energy, which it's a wacky energy, but Maul is keeping that energy. And in a weird, backwards way, I have to respect that. But I'm gonna leave it at this. Akademiks switched up because the metrics are better on Kendrick's side. End of story. That's all he cares about. So Drake may be mad. He may have to duck Drake for a few weeks. He may not get invited for pancakes in Montreal or Toronto for a while. He may not be able to DM him for a while. It may be a little shaky, but Akademiks gotta look out for Akademiks. That's why Akademiks flipped his hat around and became Kenny's new mouthpiece. Akademiks is 100% compromised, but he's not so dumb to realize that he gotta stop with all the pro-Drake propaganda, and he has to disassociate himself with that other page that does nothing all day but pro-Drake propaganda. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG, head over to that CLBMG.com. Head over to black-yeti.com. Check out the THC products, the candy, the gummies, the strains, and all that good stuff over there. Also, every Wednesday night we go live on the What Show. We will be discussing some of these things that I discussed tonight. Me, TJ, and Fliz, every Wednesday night. Make sure you catch that live. That's where all the shorts come from. When you see all these shorts popping up on my page, they come from the What Show. All right? We also got one more show we do on Monday nights. It's called Old Heads Only. That's me and Four Eyes. We talk about old school stuff, just stuff that pure hip hop, backpack stuff. If you ain't into that, don't even tune in. But that's every Monday night. But look, I'm gonna catch you on the flip side. Peace.
Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.